Hugh Williams, across those who dared.
I am Kevin Jones Giddens, Quantum Quintet.
I'm Richard Tucker. I'm the sole survivor, March 3rd, 1986.
Sole survivor because he crossed with himself.
And now we're down here, we're celebrating our 50th chapter anniversary.
Hey, let's toast.
Let's toast. We got
50th.
I love you guys.
Meaning Epsilon Omicron, our chapter, has been here for 50 years.
The college experience was, transformational. I learned a lot from these guys. I learned how to be, from my big brothers, Kevin and others. I learned how to drink from this guy right here. But all those are invaluable lessons. It's more than the books. It's how to be a man, how to carry yourself, how to be a part of an organization, be a part of a team,
and give no excuses, because excuses are tools of the incompetent, built upon monuments of nothingness, and those who use them seldom amount to anything.
Yep.
And what I got from it, being on campus, and it's OU is majority white, and I came from a high school that was 40-60% white. I needed to connect on this OU campus because I think it was about 10% black. And hooking up with the blue and white family, being with them, it gave me that family that I needed. And if I didn't have that family, I don't know if I would even graduate from college. So that's what the blue and white family gave to me.
Did anyone ever say, I know back in the day at Howard University when the fraternity was first created, a lot of fraternities was accepting lighter skinned black people, and to have a darker skin and be a part of Phi Beta Sigma. Phi Beta Sigma was inclusive, no matter what pedigree you came from, no matter what shade, no matter what your hair looked like. But on the yard, on our yard, we accepted, we are very open. So how did you feel being high yellow? They called it back in the day.
I felt very mellow.
Being a part of
being high yellow.
Did anyone ever tell you you're not black enough? Anyone
You know
tell
what?
that?
I tell you what. I never really realized how light I was until I come across another black person.
You don't realize.
And I touch him. I say, "Oh my goodness, I am glowing."
You're glowing.
But the preamble of this book talks about how the different black fraternities, the males, were separated based on color. And that's why we came. We said, you know what, we're all, and we all suffer from the same atrocities, and to have them, our own black brothers and sisters, separate us. That's why we needed to be formed, and we were formed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's why our fraternity, to me, is one of the best fraternities.
And I think about this all the time. When I came to school, I didn't know anything about fraternities. And so when I got to OU and saw everybody on campus, the guys who were doing things were the Sigmas. So they were leaders with the Black Student Council. They were, everything that was going on.
We were in residence life.
Yeah.
We were in President's Council. We were in student care. We did activities.
Yeah.
We brought speakers onto campus. We had dances.
Yeah. So those guys were the leaders. And so it just so happened, I just happened to bump into, some of the Sigma sweethearts who then brought me into the fold. And it was, these guys were leaders. These are the type of people that I wanted to associate with and be like. So
Sigma sweethearts are like our little sisters. They supported us. They did what we need to do. And then we have a sister organization called Zeta Phi Beta, Zetas. I heard someone say something that a lot of times you don't join a fraternity to find yourself. You have to know yourself before, and the fraternity enhances that. For me, I think I knew myself, but I wanted to identify with my black brothers. I don't think I had an opportunity when I was growing up. I was born in a predominantly white school system, but OU gave me that connection to my people. And so I pledged, because like Richard said, the Sigmas were about something. They weren't about all partying, even though they know how. They weren't about womenizing, even though they knew how. They were about business. And so I joined them because they were about business and they were my brothers, and I can identify with black brothers. And it was just great. I had a brotherhood for a lifetime.
I'm Andre Rudolph. Line was 6 the hard way. We crossed on February 5th, 1977.
Albert Elam. My line was the Four Tops. We crossed 5 April 1975.
My name is Reggie Kilgore, and Albert was my sans, and we crossed April 5th, 1975.
But it's been nice reconnecting with brothers living in Denmark. I'm a member of the German chapter, but with COVID and things, all our meetings have been virtual and travel has been limited, so it's actually been, a couple years since I actually had fellowship like this with the brotherhoods.
What did pledging Phi Beta Sigma mean to you, and what does it mean to you now?
Well, to me it means being a part of a really great organization, organization that's built on education and service.
We don't talk about pledging, but the pledge period that the brothers put me through prepared me well. I was going through not only basic training, but some of the training schools in the military. It was actually relatively easy because I had a concept to draw upon from my pledge periods. Pledging prepared me well for life, and then once in the organization, learning to work with others and having patience for those who don't actually see the world like you see it, and all of those kind of things. It teaches you humility and that you're not always right, and how to get along. So,
When I came to Ohio University in 1976, I was a freshman. I was wide-eyed. I was in awe because I'm coming out of an urban setting, an all-black high school. And then I wasn't used to the environment that this school was set in. And one of my classmates who I pledged with was Bill Kent. He kind of more or less got us together to, go and pledge Phi Beta Sigma. But little did I know that down the line, that those group of guys, along with, with the guys that were already there, was instrumental in me, especially to achieve my degree. Because I had a situation where I was low on funds, and I didn't know if I was going to come back here. And it was two of my line brothers that got together and got a house down here. He said, "Come on, you can stay with us, and cut the rent, and you can still get your." And it gave me an opportunity to stand on my legs and get ready through the degree program.
Yeah, that's what brotherhood is all about too. Also, it gave me a chance, not being from Ohio, and it gave me a chance to meet some people outside of the state that I lived in. So it broadened the people that I got a chance to know, And it was different down here for me because I had never been any place where it was hills and country, like, you know what I'm saying. It took a while for me to get used to OU. It did. So, and I think one of the things that helped me out was when people came at me to pledge, because it really wasn't my intention to pledge.
I keep hearing that from so many brothers.
I hadn't intended to pledge anything, but I had a cousin that was a Zeta. The guy she married, he was a Sigma down here. Al was at me to pledge because his mother was a Zeta. So I had 3 people constantly at me to pledge. But I'm glad I made the decision to do it, though. I do, and it gave me a chance to keep in contact with people who, we all go our separate ways when we graduate, but we all come together for the brotherhood thing.
What's been your favorite part of this weekend?
All of it.
All of
For
it.
me, all of it.
I mean, just the camaraderie to me, and meeting people and seeing some of the ladies that were here when I got here, Well, I came a little before them, but I hadn't seen Dolores or Deborah probably since 78, 1978. So it was really something. It was real gratifying to see them,
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Because the last time we saw each other, we were teenagers.
And And you had hair.
That's right.
We were 19 and 20, 21 years old. So, you know, that was a long time ago.
I am D of Z5B. I went over in 1978. This is my sans Debbie. There were 4 of us online, and we had a wonderful time, and we are all still in touch now. So Debbie and I are the closest traveling together on and off. We're like true sisters.
Yes.
That came about, and I never knew her before before I pledged. So it's all
Wow. And y'all really do look amazing. You really
Thank you. And my name is Deborah Price, Deborah Milner Price, and I'm glad to be here to see people again after so many decades, because I only been back maybe 2 or 3 times since graduation. So it's always special to return back to Athens, because it was a very important period of learning and growing. I also met dynamic people that just changed my life. This is the place you meet the people, because these are the people that is really able to mold your foundation of your personality, to help mold that foundation, to add to it. So I met some incredible professors, and without a doubt, I don't want to forget them, because their legacy is what made the school what it is now. And I sure did enjoy that part yesterday during the dinner with the video, which how important people to remember. When we was here in the 70s, we opened doors that had never been opened before, and walked through doors, because in the 60s, people were really fighting for us to have a place here in the school. People would ask, why are we separating ourselves? But the point is not why we're separating ourselves. Why are we including ourselves? Because we wasn't included previously. We had to, when I first came here as a freshman, got together with a few people, and we decided we needed a freshman club just for the African Americans, because we was lost here. There were so many students. And don't get me wrong, there were people in the city that built Lindsay Hall to be a place for African American studies. And we don't want to take this for granted, because without them, none of the sorority and fraternity would have a door that welcomed us here. I didn't feel welcome in 1973. I really didn't. When I say that, I didn't feel visible. And we became visible, and we was allowed to be visible.
My name is Danita Cornu, and I am a Sigma sweetheart. I think I went over in 1974. This was my college experience. This is where I developed friendships to this day. No, I did not graduate from here, but when anybody asks me, this is my home. And just to piggyback on what Deborah was saying, back in the 70s when we came down here, it was a large African American community down here. It was like about 3,000 or 4,000 of us here. It was almost like we were our own HBCU within a university. And everybody supported each other and looked out for each other. I mean, it wasn't one of those situations where you do your thing, I'll do mine. Everybody worked together. Even though everybody was in their different organizations, everybody supported each other. And I think, as Debbie said, coming back yesterday, that just confirmed it, seeing everybody, and it was just a lovely experience. And also being recognized almost 50 years later as a Sigma sweetheart in how we supported the Sigmas. Well, just the blue and white family in general.
I'm actually Dolores Jordan Perry when I went here, and I am one of 3 sisters that came here. All 3 of us were Sigma sweethearts. I'm the only one that plays Zeta, but we have a legacy here that we love. We love the blue and white, and everything is done for us, and it continues to do it. Thank you.